Can you move the food?
No, that's not okay. That's okay. 5 minutes.
So I don't have a car. How do I get a good meal? I don't know. A Uber? I don't know. Can you get a? Yes. Can you get a? Can you get a Uber? Maggie? Maggie?
In addition to that,
That's why I wanted to go for my daughter.
Doctor?
Eh?
Maggie, please, Paula, yes. I'll forget, yes. No, there's something. Sorry. Can I go there? Can I go there? Okay. Yes.
Where is it? I was supposed to start sleeping. Where is it? It's also here. Polycarp.
Polycarp.
Polycarp. I'm aware, Secretary General. I'm aware.
No. Come on,
So Polycarp is not available.
if it's not available, we Secretary.
So we can't claim for you. Which other chair?
Treasure.
The new chair?
Where's Polycarp?
Mnamwacha nani vituoni?
Sawa.
Mnamwacha nani? Karibuni, karibuni.
Wanasema nini? Oh, atukuanzia saa 5.
Basi wallahi mtusamee tu. Msijali.
Mambo itakuwa sawa.
Msijali. Kwanza mmetusamehe. Roho safi. Wallahi huko juu hatukuwa tunapiga story. Ni mambo yamezidi, ungo umezidi. Mtusamehe tu. Roho safi. Tuanzie hapo. Tumesameheana? Very good. So kuna ndugu mwenyekiti, tafadhali karibu. Jijulishe na useme kwa nini uko hapa.
Mimi naitwa Joakim Omolo Ojiambo. Mimi ni mwenyekiti wa ufuo wa Bukoba kutoka wilaya ya Port Victoria, na hivi leo, siku ya leo, tumekuwa hapa na kongamano na waziri wetu wa kaunti Honorable Peter Otuoma, na tukawa na waziri wetu Honorable Ali Hassan Joho kuzungumzia kuhusu maafa ambayo yalitukumba katika ziwa letu la Victoria, ambapo tulipoteza samaki wetu ambao tulifuga pale wa cages takribani tani kadhaa, zaidi ya tani 250 tulizipoteza pale ziwani kutoka kwa wafugaji wetu wa samaki. Na ningechukua nafasi hii kushukuru serikali hizi mbili ambapo wameamua na wakatufadhili at least tuanze maisha yetu kusaidia watu wetu wa nyumbani. Waziri wa serikali yetu ya kaunti ya Busia Honorable Paul Otuoma, Gavana Paul Otuoma ametupa takriban shilingi milioni 7 za kufadhili watu wetu ambao waliathiriwa na maafa ya samaki, na pia tukapatiwa shilingi milioni 2.5 kununua chakula ya samaki kwenda pia kusaidia wavuvi wetu ambao walipoteza samaki. Nashukuru sana kwa haya yote ambayo ametufanyia. Asanteni sana.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ubaid. I'm from Samako. I'm here with my colleagues from the industry, Harrison from Dunga Nutrition and Mr. Sankit from Sigma. So at first, I thank you, Cabinet Secretary and Honorable and Ms. Betsy, Principal Secretary, for inviting us for this. So today, in the morning, we discussed along with Gatsby Africa about the industry challenges, where we discussed about the issues of the raw material and other infrastructure and regulatory framework. We are extremely pleased that both the Honorable Secretary, they shown their personal interest, and we believe that we can resolve the issues and these hurdles and provide high quality feed at a lower prices to Kenyan farmers. On the second issue, today we stand united with the community to demonstrate our support for the Busia County farmers who have suffered great losses due to natural calamities. Collectively, we are donating fish feed value of 1.3 million Kenyan shilling. And we are also working diligently with the government and the county government so that this feed is reached to the farmers efficiently. We are also giving special discounts to the farmers so it can help them to get through this difficult patch. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, and I want to thank Waziri and the PS and all the team and the stakeholders. You are all aware of the problem that we have had in Busia, and I want to thank those who have come to work with the county government and other stakeholders to help mitigate on this natural calamity that has befallen the farmers in Busia. You are all aware that blue economy is one of the major anchor flagship projects, both for us as a county and for the national government, and I want to thank Waziri here for moving with speed to try and see that the challenges that we are facing as we confront this new frontier that we want to unlock in terms of the potential that can transform this country, that we don't allow those challenges to overcome us, and we have shared quite a lot. We agree that the researchers will be giving us solutions, and us as policymakers, and even at both assembly level and at National Assembly level, we are going to allocate resources that support this new frontier so that we don't allow these challenges to really overcome us. This is a major employer. This creates a lot of opportunity, not just to produce food, but also to offer self-employment and employ so many people. Like just this phenomenon that has happened has rendered almost 10,000 people jobless. If they tell you that almost 6,000 people who are directly engaged in these activities, border riders, fish mama samaki, you know, people who make cages, hotels, all these people have been affected. And so we are not talking of a small thing. And it is not just in Busia, because I'm also standing here on behalf of the Council of Governors, the Vice Chair of the Blue Economy, to make sure that it's also not going to happen in other inland water areas and even in the coastal water marine areas. So that is the collaboration that we are looking at between the county government and national government, that we need our research institution, especially KEFRI, to give us solutions, and then us, we can be able to implement. Otherwise, sina mengi. Waziri, asante sana for hosting us. As you say, people may be surprised kwa nini hamukukuja Busia, but you are all aware that other stakeholders were here, and we thought it was appropriate that we meet where everybody is. So, Waziri, karibu.
Asante. Asante, ndugu Gavana. Let me first of all begin from where you left. Unajua kuna watu wengine watauliza mbona mkwenda Busia. And I know it's a critical question. Let me explain it. We invited the leadership of Busia and the affected people for only one simple reason, because we needed to have a conversation largely with other important stakeholders such as the feed manufacturers, researchers, and other agencies that were very critical on planning on our way forward. And obviously, we were getting a lot of support from private sector, and it was proving difficult to mobilize the private sector who are running industries to go with us to Busia. And that's why we invited and facilitated that the people of Busia come here. Now let me tell you what we have discussed. Number one, hii kitu ya samaki, like the way Governor has said here, it is an important conversation that we must have going forward. Number one, people have diversified on means of catching the fish, particularly in the lake areas. And for obvious reasons. There are, number one, is security issues or harassment issues. Then there's also issues of safety and other, what do you call it, hatari, and we lose so many lives in the lake over the period. So the residents of that area diversified means and ways of ensuring they have enough catch to sustain their lives. And they introduced what we call caged fishing. Now, this upwelling conversation is not the first to happen. If you remember, about last year, it happened in other parts of the lake, where we lost equally the same number of fish or even greater. So what we had wanted to do today here is to have a conversation on what it is that we need to do so that we can sustain this kind of investment on behalf of the people, for the people. Number one, our researchers have informed us there may be issues of placements. I've directed here today, the institutions in my ministry will have to go to the ground and work with county governments and CBOs and cooperatives at the mashinani level, so that they help them to design the cages that can stand extreme weather and this thing called upwelling. Kuna watu wengine wameuliza upwelling ni nini? Upwelling kwa Kiswahili ni kitu kifupi sana. Yaani maji ya chini ya kutoka kuja juu ambayo inapunguza pumzi za samaki. Ni kama wewe sasa ukienda baharini, utoke juu ukienda chini, pumzi zako zinapungua. In the opposite, kwa samaki inafanyika hivyo. Na ikija juu, pumzi za samaki zinakuwa chache, and then they end up dying. So our researchers have informed us there are mitigations that can be put in place. And that's why I directed here today, watu waende ground, wapange hawa wafugaji wa samaki kwa njia ya kueleweka, wapewe training, and we have agreed with the Council of Governors through His Excellency Honorable Otuoma that we shall have an engagement from Tuesday going forward so that we plan it well. Hata upwelling ikuja siku ingine, samaki wasipotee. Tumepatana mpaka hapo. Then the other thing is because of the trajectory ya hii biashara ambayo tumeiona kwa muda, I am sure if it continues within a year or two, Kenya will have the capacity to export a lot of fish. Because if this area alone, you talked about 300 plus cages, this one alone, and Kisumu is doing, Homa Bay is doing, Siaya is doing, Migori is doing, and therefore we are going to create a huge market that contributes, number one, to our food security, number two, job creation and wealth creation. So therefore we are largely talking about economic progression.
And even cost.
And for the people, and even the cost of the food. So therefore, na pia pwani, nimekumbusha hapo, even in the coastal region pia anaanza kuangalia mambo ya mariculture, you know, ufugaji wa samaki kwa bahari na kwa lake, of course, and this is what we want to introduce even in like Turkana and other places, and even like Baringo, even in the interland, because we have as a ministry institutions that are creating hatcheries and, you know, wanting to produce more fingerlings that we can feed into the communities. Finally, is that the other reason as to why we had asked our brothers from Busia to come to Nairobi is because we had mobilized private sector to contribute kurisha biashara. You know, if you go to someone who you are asking, saidia sisi resources, alafu mwambie tuende na wewe mahali, naweza kuwa ngumu. Kama huyu mdosi hapa ameongea hapa, tuliongea na hawa, wametupatia fish feeds total, pamoja na wale ambao hawako hapa, 2.5 million worth of fish feed, ambazo mnaziona ndio hizi. And then the ministry will provide 500,000 fingerlings to the affected people after guiding them on how to place the cages. We'll give them 500,000 fingerlings. And then we've also negotiated a discounted price going forward. For these affected people, we've negotiated a discounted price to try and bring them back to track. And tuwarudishe pale walipokuwa kuendelea mbele.
Governor is giving 7 million.
And I'm grateful, my governor and my brother, Governor Otuoma, has also committed not only to provide resources, but also to work with us going forward. Initially, there had been a bit of issues. Governors, the national government, county government were, you know, seemed like they were competing for space. The lake is so vast. The opportunities are too many. Our people, ni wale. So therefore, there's no reason as to why we can compete for anything rather than coordinate, cooperate, and ensure we complement one another. So therefore, I want to say that we're here to assure the Kenyan people that hawa ndugu zetu ambao wamepata huu mkasa, we will do whatever we can to ensure we put them back on track. Ingine ya muhimu ni kwamba I informed the governor that the landing sites, we had the 2 landing sites. The one in Mukoba, Governor, here tulimaliza. We need to come and hand it over to you and the fisher folk and the community, so that we can agree on when we can do it, because imeisha. The next one is that we have agreed with Governor here that we will look at the designs we have proposed. We had proposed on building another landing site in Bumbe. So we are consulting on the designs with the county government and the stakeholders. And Governor, I want to report to you that we have about 150 million that we've set aside ready to go to the ground. And therefore, I'm anticipating by, say, January mid, we should be able to break ground. And I have asked, my consultants had informed me that construction period will be about 9 to 12 months. And I said, landing sites, haina ghorofa mingi. I have given them 6 months to 7 months to 8 months. So I'm hoping after January, when we break ground, by August, we should hand it over to the county for the people to benefit. Nimalizie hapo niseme asanteni na sincerely apologize for keeping you guys waiting. We really didn't mean to. Tusamehe? Mbona mstaki kusamehe watu nyinyi? Kuna swali?
Tutafanya demonstration.
Yeah.
Waziri, mimi naitwa Vincent Afande kwa niaba ya Radio Citizen. Kuna maswali mawili. Moja ni kwako na moja ni kwa gavana. Swali langu la kwanza ni kwako waziri. Katika ule mkasa ambao tulishuhudia pale Mulukoba, that's the Victoria, samaki wakiaga, na wale wakulima wakaanza kuuzia locals kula zile samaki ambazo zimeaga. Was it a proper way of disposing those fish by selling to locals to consume? That's one.
So that's for me or for Tom?
That's for you.
Okay.
For governor it will come later. I don't know, I can just shoot the governor answer later. Governor, tumeshuhudia ile what we call cash crunch in counties, ambapo serikali nyingi za ugatuzi zinasumbuka sana kupata resources. Kuanzia mwezi wa 7 mpaka sasa hivi ingine, hali ni vipi? Serikali ya kitaifa inawasilisha ama imepeleka pesa mashinani kusaidia kaunti, ambapo wengi kaunti nyingi ambazo kufikia sasa hazijaanza kulipa wafanyakazi wao mishahara na pesa za kufanya maendeleo. Pengine kufikia sasa hali ni vipi? Asanteni sana.
Okay, sasa mimi nimesema, unajua hata from kuna watu walikuwa wananiuliza nitoe statement mapema, ndio maana tukatuma researchers. So I want to tell you, my brother Afande, as we speak, our scientists are on the ground. They are doing a detailed work, including the quality of fish and the production. So swali la kiutafiti wa kisayansi tunangoja tupate jawabu la kisayansi. Ndio nisikupe jawabu leo alafu kesho uniite Citizen uniambie ulisema hivi wala vile. So as we speak, watafiti wetu wako kiwanja, wana sayansi ambaye wana elimu ya kutosha na kufaa. So jawabu likija nitakupatia. Asante bro. Kama najibu swali la mapesa.
Asante sana.
Lakini usitoe news yangu kwa hii ndio pesa.
Asante, hata ndio nilikuwa nataka kusema, lakini waziri amesema ni ukweli kwamba serikali za ugatuzi zina changamoto sana. Kwa sababu tunaona kama hii first quarter imekwenda, tumeona hii first quarter imekwenda na imeenda na hatujapata fedha. Wengi mnajua hata mishahara tulikuwa tujaweza kulipa. Mwisho tulikuwa tumepata pesa ya June. Na sasa tuko mwezi wa Oktoba. Nafikiria vile nilikuwa nimesafiri kidogo, nimeambiwa labda mwezi wa 7 inaweza kuwa imeanza kutiririka kwa county. But still hiyo ni karibu miezi 3. Na umejua hii imekuwa swala nyeti sana. Tutakuwa na mkutano Jumatatu, tutaweza kuzungumzia zaidi. Council of Governors, we are having a meeting. Na tutaweza kutoa uamuzi zaidi haya. Asante.
Kuna swali lingine? Yes. Ha? Oh, nice.
Naswali kwamba wakati fulani ulienda kule bunge unasema kwamba wizara hii ilitumia shilingi bilioni 1.6 kwa hesabu samaki kwenye leo uingia kama wakati hivi kuhakikisha kwamba pesa hizo zitumike katika njia hiyo pesa kiasi hiki.
Kwanza mimi nataka tukubaliane kitu kimoja muhimu sana. Tukubaliane kwamba mambo ya uchumi samawati sio uvuvi pekee. And kama wa Kenya, we must have a conversation on what really blue economy is all about. Na mimi nilikuwa naomba, ningefurahi sana leo tungefocus, nitakujibu, tungefocus na mambo ambayo yametendeka, because I believe what you report today may help prevent such a calamity to happen again in the future. Because just to inform our people that we need to do a bit more of planning. But nani alisema mambo ya kuhesabu? You know, wewe umeenda shule. Tell me, assessment manake Kiswahili nini? Si kuhesabu. Si kuhesabu. And then kitu ambacho tunataka tujue. Vitu vingine havibadilishwi. Yani Kenya cannot be an island. We cannot purport to want to do things our way. So if you go to Tanzania, they do fish assessment. Somalia, they do stock assessment. Oman, US, every state of the US, they do what they call stock assessment. What you didn't understand, or what we need to break down, what it means by stock assessment and the factors that is being looked at when people go out there. There's absolutely no way anybody in this world can have the capacity to go to the sea or the lake and count fish at 1, 2, tatoka wapi hiyo. I talk. So you look at the entire ecosystem of the ocean, the trend, the environmental issues in there, mambo ya afya ya maji. Unajua maji paka angaliwa afya yake, ama hujui? Maji yanaangaliwa afya yake. Samaki wanazaana vipi? Samaki wanatembea vipi? You know? The breeding trend, the migration trend, because they do that. Species. Sometimes we could be sitting here eating tuna, for example. Kumbe inaenda kuwa endangered species. How would you know? How would I be able to give a license to anybody? On what basis? Kama nakupa leseni ya kuvua tuna, naweza kukuambia wewe unafaa kuvua tuna isipite tani 1,000. That must be informed by some research and science. And maybe it makes me very sad for someone to just water it down to call it kuhesabu samaki. It is not. It is not. And if you want us to thrive as a ministry, as a country, where this opportunity becomes our next economic frontier, we have to invest in it. What you should be asking us is, show us the reports of the work that has been done, and we give you the detail to it. Ya mwisho kabisa nikikujibu ndugu yangu. So we are okay to count gazelles, elephants, lions. Because why? Tourism and economic gain. Na is it different from wale viumbe vinavyoishi kwenye samaki? It's the same. It is the same. We just need to explain it, how it's done. And by the way, so that you know, it requires a lot of science. A lot of science, because you have to determine even the weather pattern. Maji yanakuwa moto, baridi kiasi gani. So what I'm happy to do for you is one day maybe to give you a detailed reporting on what stock assessment really means. But let me assure you, and I'm saying this really kwa roho safi, if anybody attempts to say we should never do stock assessment, you are simply telling us, allow our neighboring countries to benefit from our very basic God-given natural resource. Because Somalia is doing stock assessment, Tanzania is doing stock assessment, Seychelles is doing stock assessment, Mauritius is doing stock assessment, South Africa, everybody does stock assessment. Lakini sisi unajua bahati mbaya hii Kenya kila mtu ni mjuaji. Tena siku hizi vile tuna mtandao, kila mtu yajua kila kitu. Mtu anaweza kaa akashika mtandao rais TikTok akaanza kuongea mambo ya afande. Hii redio afande hajui lolote, na wewe hujakanyaga redio hata siku moja. And that's the country we live in today. But for me, as a CS here, I'll make the right decision. That is for the interest of the people. Sitoogopa wale watu wa mtandao wakisema sijui samaki wa hesabu. Tena mmoja hata sijui hesabu 1, 2. We will not be derailed. We will be focused on what needs to be done. And we ask that you support us in making the right and good decisions that are progressive. Asante.
Thank you so much.
And we show you. Mimi nataka niseme mambo ya madini, lakini jamani, mnauliza maswali mengi na msikaache historia ya Busia. Anyway, mambo ya madini mimi nataka niseme kama hiyo madini ambayo inachukuliwa kutoka Tharaka Nithi, wengi zao ni madini haramu. Because from where I sit, we have not licensed anybody to mine in Tharaka Nithi. And I've asked, Wakenya wote wajue kwamba hii ni mali yao. And you must protect it. By all means. And therefore, I think I should even produce a hotline where people can report to us, mali inachukuliwa wapi. It is now when we are saying, watu wapate license. I stopped the other day 27 tons of copper ore to be exported because I simply asked, where did you get it from? And they did not have an answer. They could not tell me where they mined the copper ore. And therefore I stopped it from being exported. And I like what you have said. Wewe unatoka Tharaka Nithi, hiyo ni mali yako hiyo. Unafaa uchunge. Mpaka sisi tuje tukwambie tumempa huyu license, na tukimpa huyu license ako na pesa ya jamii kiwango fulani, pesa ya county kiwango fulani, ushuru wa kitaifa kiwango. That is what the law entails. So my brother, I want to assure you, 80% of the miners in Kenya are illegal, and they should be aware that we are going after them. As we speak, there's an operation going on in Narok. From Narok, we're going to other places. Tutakamata wote.
Hata Busia.
Na tena Wabusia wengine wanaingia chini chini. Nimemwambia governor, we will go after them. The other day, kuna dhahabu hapa imetoka, governor, somebody traveled out with 30 kilos of gold here in our airport. Na maskari wetu wazembe walimwacha akaenda tu. He was arrested in India. Probably this gold was gotten from Busia. County haikupata kitu, wananchi zero, serikali ya kitaifa zero. So there are things that we must do different and we shall do them. Asanteni. Wacha tupeane hii msaada au tumepewa, tupeane huru watu wakiona.
Wapi Juma? Where are the farmers? The farmers. And you let the lady go somewhere. Let's make sure mama pia leta hiyo kunyingine. Thank you.